The campaigns and their surrogates focused on states today that will likely be key to either candidate's victory. One day before Election Day, President Trump is rallying in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is also where Joe Biden is holding several events. Jim Messina joins me now. He is the former campaign manager for President Obama's 2012 campaign. Jim, thank you very much for joining us. Former President Obama is stumping for Joe Biden in Florida and Georgia Monday. What do these states show about the Biden campaign's priorities at this point in the race?
Yeah, the Biden campaign has two priorities. First is to make sure they have the Midwest locked down, the old blue wall where Democrats have carried 6 out of the last 7 presidential elections. That's why you're seeing Biden crisscrossing the Midwest in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan. And then they're putting Obama in the kind of growth states where there are more African-American and young voters, like Florida, like Georgia, in an attempt to have their cake and eat it too a little bit. They have multiple pathways of 270 electoral votes, and they're going after each one of these pathways with their best surrogates at the forefront.
And what do you see with respect to the Trump campaign's priorities?
Well, the Trump campaign realizes it's all about the Midwest. They have got to win Pennsylvania. There's just no scenario in which they can lose Pennsylvania and still stay in this race. So they're smartly just absolutely focusing on the Midwest, keeping Trump there. He's going to go to North Carolina. But besides that, he's just in the Midwest, and especially ending in Pennsylvania. So they are understanding that they're down to just one pathway in the Midwest, and they've got to do it. They've also got to hold Florida. I think they can get there without the president, but they know that they need the guy who closed so well for them in 2016, which is why you're seeing Trump race across the Midwest this afternoon.
Well, Sunday on Face the Nation, RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel said this election would come down to turnout, and she also predicted a large number of Republicans will vote in person Tuesday. Let's listen to that.
Republicans are wanting to vote on Election Day in person and cast their ballot that way. So we feel very strong that we have a surge coming on Election Day. We've also built the best ground game in history with 2.5 million volunteers and 3,000 staff on the ground. And we are contacting these voters right now all weekend through the next few days to make sure they turn out to vote.
So we have seen some analysts warning people to be aware of a red or blue mirage on Tuesday because each state has its own rules on how it counts and reports early votes. So how is that factoring into how you'll be watching results come in?
Boy, it's true, Elaine. We're going to need to really take a deep breath. And first of all, don't believe the exit polls, which are wrong every 4 years. And second of all, just understand that each state has different rules about when they can start counting this record early vote. As of this afternoon, 97.5 million Americans had early voted. In some states like Pennsylvania, they can't even start counting those votes until after the polls close on Tuesday. And so we're unlikely to get very quick numbers out of the Midwest. Where we will get quick numbers is out of the South, out of Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. And if Vice President Biden carries one of those 3 states, it is likely going to be that he will be the president of the United States. But if we don't have a Biden upset in one of the 3 southern states, then we're all going to have to take a deep breath and watch them count votes across the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a gamble is it to rely on high turnout on Election Day for both campaigns?
Well, it is a gamble. And from a campaign perspective, you'd much rather be where the Biden campaign is, which is they've already banked their vote. Now, what Ronna is saying is true. Republicans tend to be more Election Day voters than Democrats. But, just from a campaign perspective, now the Biden campaign can go chase those people who haven't voted yet. They have most of their vote in, and they know the people that haven't voted, and they can put all their resources onto those people, whereas the Republicans have to kind of look at the whole field and say, geez, now we got to turn out millions of people on just one day. So while it's true that Republicans do vote on Election Day, you'd rather be the Biden campaign chasing just a few votes in some of these key battlegrounds that could be decided by under 1%.
So what are the other states that you're going to be keeping an eye on tomorrow?
Well, if Joe Biden has been surging in Georgia, if he can win Georgia, that would be the first Democrat to win it since Bill Clinton did in 1992. It would be a very big upset, and the electoral math for President Trump gets very hard. Arizona is a state that I desperately wanted to compete in both Obama campaigns, and we just couldn't because of financial resources. Biden has held a small lead throughout the entire fall. If Biden could put Arizona into the Democrats' column, that would be the entire western part of the United States now becoming Democratic, which from a long-term perspective would be a very big deal for the Democratic Party.
Right, Arizona, the state of Barry Goldwater and John McCain. All right, Jim Messina for us. Jim, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.